Hey there, welcome to Manifest Without Money. What are you expecting today? Because whatever you expect, that's exactly what you're going to receive. Today I want to share with you something that I am able to do, and I know that you are able to do as well. I want to share with you the principles behind bending the spoon. Now, how did I come about bending the spoon? How did I come about to even learn that somebody can bend the spoon? To be honest with you, I don't remember. I know that I was cruising like everybody else on YouTube, and I came across this YouTube, and this lady actually teaches you how to bend the spoon. She is into metaphysics, which means beyond the physics, right? We're talking about energy, we're talking about spirit. In her comments, there was someone there and asked the question, well, how does this apply to the law of attraction? And I thought, yeah, how does the bending the spoon apply to the law of attraction? And I asked the question, and it was a couple of weeks later, and I would say weeks because it seems like it was weeks. Through different studies, through other teachings that I have done in the meantime, it came to me and I realized, I got it. I see it. I understand it. So I thought, okay, I would like to bring it to you so you can know the principle, learn the principles behind bending the spoon. And what are those principles? How do they relate, or are they the same when it comes to the law of attractions or the law of creation and manifestation? So one thing that I still find difficult at times, especially when we don't see physically our manifestations. So we do affirmations, we say affirmations, we go through the process of creation manifestation, and we struggle, right? We just don't see the result. We are so overwhelmed. We are so, I would say maybe desperately longing to have that thing, to have that person, to have the house, the car, the money. And it gets to the point where we reach that point where it almost tips us over. And usually in those times, we decide to recreate or create something new. And it shouldn't be like that. So the reason we feel desperate, or we feel as if, why is my manifestation not here? I did the process yesterday. How come it's not here today or 2 days later? We are anxious because we have waited for so long, and now the moment we come into hearing and understanding the process of creation manifestation, we just want things to happen. Things do happen in the energetic, in this energy or spirit world. They do happen very quickly. In fact, to the spirit, there is no past or future. The past, future, and the present are in the present moment. Everything happens in the now. So when we go into the fourth dimension and we pull something out of there, because everything exists, okay, everything is created, everything was finished. What we are doing, we are going into the fourth dimension where everything is created, and we pull something from there. For example, you cannot manifest more than one thing at a time. But because we manifest at all times, if you have the tendency during manifestation and your focus is not on what you want to manifest, meaning on the vision, I had my own hair in my mouth. If you don't focus on what it is you want, and you're focusing on your turning and looking towards what is, because this process only takes a few minutes. When you look at what is, or your present circumstance, you have just canceled your manifestation. It cancels it out. Your vision, your desire, what you're trying to pull out from the fourth dimension it's as if you're not giving it energy, you're not giving it power. Okay? And so what happens, you're giving attention to your circumstance. Now, how can we, to simplify my process, which is a 6-step process, to simplify that for you, I'm going to do this with the spoon. So the simplest way that I can say it is that you appropriate an idea with the correct image. I've mentioned in one of my videos before, we have perception, and with perception, we can change our mind, or we can change the idea, because idea comes from the mind. So when we say we change the mind, we change the idea. So you can change the idea, and that idea comes automatically with its own picture. So right now, the present circumstance is that this spoon is straight, okay? The spoon is straight. But I can change my idea about it. I can say, no, the spoon is not straight. The spoon is not straight. As if to say, there's not water in the pot. Look, there is vapor. Water, when you heat it up, turns into steam and then turns into ether. So thoughts turn into things, and you can always shift them and change them and bend them. Meaning the same thing, the spoon, can do different things, okay? I can bend it this way, I can bend it this way, I can twist it this way. There's so many things you can do with one thing. There's so many things you can do with your circumstance, okay? We choose only to focus on one aspect of it. And I'm going to share with you why perception helps you to change, because perception is a tool of mind, the mind or the heart, okay? And that's the fourth dimension. That's where we pull things from. So what would I do? Well, I have made up my mind. I want to change the present circumstance into something else. Okay. Perception allows me to see another option, another version of this spoon. I use my perception and I go on my imagination and I use the tools of mind, okay? And what I'm doing right now is I'm saying the spoon is bent. I'm already making a statement in alignment with the outcome, with my desire, with my perception, because perception turns into reality. So my perception is that this spoon can bend, and I could see the way it's bent right now, okay? And because I see the way it's bent and I say, okay, the spoon is bent and I see it bent, that's all I'm doing. I'm letting go. What happens now, the law of incubation or the law of gestation is taking place. There are many laws in the nature. So now the law of gestation takes place. The best thing to do is just let it go. What that means is I'm not looking at the spoon being straight. I'm not complaining. I'm not worrying. I'm not fretting. I'm letting it go. I'm also not worrying, how am I going to do the spoon? What if the spoon is not going to bend? I just assume that it's going to bend. Now, why is that? You see, because outside of me, I saw a woman that she did it. But she is part of me. We are all God. And if she did it, and if she's God, and I'm God, that means I can do it too. If he made $1.5 million a month, I can make $1.5 million a month. You see, the moment you become aware of something, and I teach about awareness in my business program, and we do have a 3-day masterclass, December 11th to the 13th, where I teach you the 7 levels of awareness. When you become aware of someone out there that has achieved the success that they have achieved, you are God, they are God, we are all one God. What that is saying, which should say to you once you become aware, wow, that is a possibility. I can do that too. Why? We are all God. It's the same energy, it's the same spirit. You just have to rearrange the order of your thoughts, right? You have to say, I believe. You have to change your perception about you and say, if he can do it, I can do it. So now I bend the spoon. Okay? And the spoon is bent. Now I want to share with you what happened right here. Let's say right now that this is your present circumstance. This is one side. And you say, but I cannot see how this can come about. I don't even see, I don't even have an image. I don't even know what I want. I don't even know if I can manifest. You see, perception allows you to flip the situation. It's like taking a switch and flipping it. To illustrate this for you, I want you to think of a U-turn. Let's say you have a U-turn on the street and you're on this side of the street, but you don't know what's on the other side of the street around the corner. But you can, based on what you see here, if you're in a place where there's homes, you can assume that on the other side might be homes as well. Or you can assume that on the other side there's stores. You can assume anything, or you can perceive anything you want. That means you can take the circumstance and turn into anything you want. You can take your circumstance and turn it into anything you want. When I say turn it, that's called the action. That's called the six-step process of creation manifestation. We are afraid to visualize, but we think in vision and dreams, okay? Your mind thinks and your brain creates pictures. And so as you begin to think or speak and you listen to yourself, that means you're thinking about what you're saying, automatically you create pictures. That's called integration, all right? You pay attention to who you are, what you think, what you speak, and what you see. So when we do that, what happens is we change the perception. I say, you know what? No, my circumstance is not like this. My circumstance is like this. My bank account doesn't have $3,000 in it. My bank account has $30,000 in it. No. My business says that I sold 100 products. Oh, no. I have 1,000 products sold. How many possibilities are out there? Well, you can say you sold 1,000. You can say you sold 500,000. There's infinite possibilities. In the fourth dimension, there's infinite possibilities. That means you can change your perception, which in fact means change the mind anytime you want, as many times as you want. So the spoon, now if I try to, I can't do it, okay? It's hard. I can't do it. Why? Because I did not give it the command to do it. I want you to understand how much authority and power you have. That's what I teach in my program. We have 2 extra modules at the end, how to enter into the power of rest and the power of authority, and how you can manifest twice or more than enough or double of the same thing, okay? Can you manifest 2 of the same? You can, all right? I know a lot of people here on YouTube, they're only focusing on manifesting one thing. And I don't mean one thing at a time. I mean 2 of the same. Can you manifest 2 dolls, 2 of the same cars at a few months apart? Can you manifest 2 of the same? So you can. And that's what you learn in the bonus material in my program. Now, because I have not given this a command, because I have not given it the command, that means because I have not thought of the idea and appropriate the right picture, which would have been, okay, the spoon is straight, and I would see the spoon straight. I see the end. Because I don't say affirm and I don't see the picture, I can't do it. Your physical body can't do it. What does that mean? Using your will alone, you can't do it. Many people use their will alone. Sometimes you will your manifestation into existence. What does that mean? You say it only from the mouth. You don't use your perception. You don't use your imagination. You don't use intuition. And so what happens is when you use your will alone, you end up doing things in the flesh, in the 3D. Okay? So to manifest correctly, you have to understand, use your perception to change your situation, hold it with your will, enter into the imagination. As a memory or things from the past come against you, you have to refuse to look at them, and then intuition will be activated. Okay, that's the action. Intuition comes to put you into action. The way I took action to bend the spoon, intuition will come to cause you to take some action, to turn that bend, to turn the events of circumstance. Now, a lot of people say, well, I could just sit around and wait. Nobody waits, because anybody that is on YouTube and is making money on YouTube, they can't say I'm making money just by sitting home. They're affirming they're making money because clients come through YouTube, money comes through YouTube monetization. So they have an avenue. They're using something. There is something that they're doing. So it's impossible to say that you're not doing anything. You're doing something you're doing anyway. So the principle behind the spoon is that when you attach an idea with the correct image, you have to see the outcome. It's done. Now, what happens is if you continue to worry and to stress, you need to remind yourself, oh, this is just the law of gestation. This is the law of gestation. This is the law of incubation. And at one point, intuition is going to come and say, pick up the phone and call so-and-so. Why don't you say hi to so-and-so? Okay? It's going to feel natural because you change your perception. You have done the creative and manifestation process, and now the law does its work. Meaning you are not in that place of worrying and doubting, because if you're there, you have not planted the seed yet. You don't believe yet. You don't believe. A lot of people say, well, you don't need to believe. That's the only way you receive. Otherwise, you would have to do everything in the flesh yourself, in the 3D yourself. So the way we bring from the fourth dimension into the third is through belief or hard work. We choose. Okay? You can do it through belief or you can do it through physical work. But you have to believe. Now, you don't believe in necessarily in the outcome. You believe in the law, and you say, according to the law, and here's what I want to help you. A lot of people have difficulties thinking about their SP, for example. When you think about the law, you put your trust in the law. You don't put your trust in man. That means you don't put your trust in your SP. As far as you know, he's just a human being. As far as you know, you're God. So you can't put your trust in man. You cannot put your trust in his ability as a man to do anything. He can't do anything until you do it. So don't put your trust, don't put your faith in him that he's actually going to turn around if you do this creation manifestation process. No, you put your trust in the laws of the universe. What you're working with is the laws. You're not working with your SP. You're not working with your bank account. You are working with the laws, which in fact is you, because you are law. So you operate with yourself. And you need to remind yourself, according to the law, this is rightfully mine, because I have given the law something to work with. And the law says, you make a step towards me and I'm going to make a step towards you. The law says, drop the pen and I'm going to grab it through the law of gravity. The same way the law of attraction says, listen, give me the idea and the image that you want and let me attract it to you, and I'll come back with intuition and I will drag you to me. So there's that attraction. So what we need to understand then is we are not working with the SP. We're not working with the bank account. You are working with yourself. You're the one that needs to be, you're the one that you need to convince. You're the only one that you need to convince. You don't need to convince anyone else. Why? Because you don't pay attention to circumstances. You're not supposed to, and that's what it means. You're not supposed to pay attention to circumstances. You pay attention to the law. You say, according to the law, because I have given this, and through my faith in the law, believing that it works, because it works all the time, because the law of gravity works all the time, thus the law of attraction works all the time. Now, when we get anxious, it's because we have not tested this law enough. We have not tested ourselves enough. So what I would encourage you to do is to try this with the spoon. And if you can bend the spoon, pay attention to what you were thinking, what you were imagining, how clear was the image, and how long after that did you try to bend the spoon. If you try to bend it right away, you're not going to be able to. Try it in about 30 seconds. If not, try it in another minute. Some people do it in 2 minutes. It shows you how quickly things can happen for you. Also, it should bring you into the awareness what happens when you think and when you imagine. And if we can think and imagine and take action, not too far after that, things will turn around to be the way we've seen them in the mind. Things will turn around, and what I saw here, I'm going to hold it in the hand. But there was some action that I had to do. Okay, so don't underestimate or undermine the action. There has to be some action, right? Faith without works. That means if you just think about it, speak about it, but the body, because it's a subconscious mind, you see, built within every desire, built within my idea to see the spoon bent, there was also the mechanics, the how to, okay, the strategy, the plan. I know that the plans that I have for you to prosper you. So those plans are going to be revealed to you. You are going to have to do something. But those plans and strategies are particular to you, to your desire, to your manifestation. They will not apply to me. But the process or the laws are the same for you and for me. That's why we have different desires and different lifestyles. But the laws are the same. So keep in mind that you are operating with the law. Don't put your trust in men. Don't look at your SP. You look at the law and say, you know what? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a second. This is about me and the law here. I'm the one that needs convincing. I don't need to convince myself that he will say those things. Because if I imagine him saying those things, if I imagine her doing that, if I imagine my bank account doing that, you know what? You stand on the law and you say, you know what? Hello, law. According to what I've done on that date, I don't see that happening. According to the law, I should have it. This is when you enter into assumption. You say, wait a minute, where is it? Where is it? It's got to be here. It's got to be here. Sometimes we don't make decisions. We tiptoe and we play with the law of creation manifestation. But the time will come and you will rise in that awareness and say, wait a minute, let me check myself. Did I do it right? Yes, I did it right. Did I stand my ground? Yes, I stood my ground. How come the manifestation is not here? In that moment, you can rise above it and say, no, that manifestation is going to be here. And it's in that moment, it's almost as if you're being tested. It's in that moment when you release it one more time, you affirm one more time, and that thing comes to manifestation. Why? Because you have gotten to the point where you have assumed it, you have the belief, and because your belief has formed in its full form, right? The fruit, it has come time for the fruit, and you use the law of the sickle. You say, no, it's done. The law of the sickle or the law of the assumption. So you say, no, it's done. It's done. You take and reap your harvest. Now the Bible says that, look, the harvest is already full. It's already white. Why are we waiting so much? It's because we don't know who we are and how we operate. We operate by law. And know this, that you're always operating with the laws. It's not just the law of vibration. It's not just the law of attraction. There's also the law of gestation. There's also the law of perpetual transmutation, the law of relativity, the law of polarity. There's so many other laws. So don't get bugged by circumstances. You're not working with circumstances. You're working with the law. I want you to think of yourself almost as if you are your judge, because you judge yourself anyway. Oh, I'm not good. I'm not worthy. He said I'm not good. She said it's not good. My bank account said that. You judge yourself as if everything out there is above you. Enter into the courthouse. Enter into my court. Enter into the courtroom, and you're the judge. You have the law. Use it in your favor, because we have been misusing the law against us. That's why we have loss, because we feared, doubted, and worried. Fear, doubt, and worry comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And now, because we use the wrong end of the law, we keep judging ourselves according to circumstances. The bank account judges me. My SP judges me and say, I'm sorry. Who's the law here? Who's God here? I am. God is law. I'm the law. Wait a minute. I'm coming in here and cleaning everything up and putting everything in order the way it should have been from the beginning of time. I have forgotten who I am. Now I know who I am. I'm setting my house in order. That means your mind. You set your mind in order and you say, wait a minute. I don't care who it is and what they've done. They will conform according to what I see and I say and I speak. But you have to be integrated. That means you've got to know this identity. This is your authority. This is your power. So either way you look at it, know this. As you listen to certain videos, try to grab to the understanding. Don't necessarily try to grab onto a formula, even though I have my own personal formula, because I have used it, because I have experienced, without even knowing, I've experienced it. And I began to put it in order and I perfected it. And I said, this is the way it's done. This is the way it's done. Every time I do this, things come to me very quickly. And I said, this is the way it's done. But you don't need a formula. You don't have to come into my program. You can listen to many videos and try to put things together on your own. And you can say, oh, okay, well, if you did it this way, let me try it this way. Try your own system. Create your own system. But if that doesn't work, then try to stay with someone. Stay with a coach. Stay with a mentor. Stay with someone that you trust, so that you follow through, so that you submit yourself under their teaching, because after a while, understanding will come. You see, you're looking for understanding. You're looking for those glitches that go click, 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 and all of a sudden you got it. But don't just be a hearer of the word. Start applying what they're telling you to apply and try it. And if something doesn't work, then try someone else's, okay? If this doctor you don't like, go to another doctor, okay? But the bottom line is, you have to put it into practice. You have to apply these principles, or you have to apply the systems, or you have to apply the teaching. That's what it comes down to. So when you apply the teaching, that's when you begin to see results, and that's when you begin to troubleshoot your own manifestation. You troubleshoot it. But the moment you manifest something, look back and say, what did I do? What did I think about? How did I feel? Did I feel anything? Because I manifest in so many ways. Sometimes I'm very, very calm. I'm not reactive. Sometimes it's before I go to bed and then it manifests the next day or 3 days later. Sometimes I'm decisive. I wake up in the morning and I would say, you know what? It's been 30 days. That's it. Today, this and this and this will happen. And that very day, that, then that, and that will happen. So there's different ways to manifest, meaning there's different states that you find yourself in. Sometimes you don't manifest in an instant, like in 4 minutes, like I do, but sometimes you manifest 30 days later. Why? Because it depends on the intensity that you created and manifested. Depends on the intensity or the way you felt inside. For example, when I was looking for a position, and this was more than a year ago, I just nonchalantly I applied for jobs, and I didn't really want to go back to work, but every friend would say, you have to go, you have to go. And I said, okay, I'm going to apply for jobs. I think it was 2 months later, and my previous boss said, do you have a job yet? And I said, nope. And he said, you need to have a job. So I thought, you know what? Everybody tells me I need a job. Money was getting low, and I said, you know what? I woke up one morning and I said, yeah, I need a job. I made up my mind. I've made the decision. Up until then, everybody made the decision for me. Would tell me what to do, how to go, where to go, and what to do. And I said, you know what? No, I make up my mind. That's right. My decision is this. I am not going to apply to any more jobs because I only need one. I've already applied to 30 jobs in 2 months. I need one. Somebody today is going to find my resume on the desk. And when I said that, I saw a desk full with stacked paper. And I said, somebody's going to find my resume. And I saw a hand moving paper. That's all. Somebody's going to call me today and give me a job. 2 hours later, a recruiter calls me and offered me a position as an executive assistant for a financial firm that manages $20 billion. In that interview, 3 hours in it, I made a friend with the HR lady. We talked about creation and manifestation. She turns around and she says to me, you know, you have a gift. There's something special about you. I said, well, there's nothing special about me. This is what I've seen, and it's been years and years now. And she said, have you ever thought about teaching this? She said, I really like you. I have been with the CEO for 20 years or 23 years, she said, and you would be a good fit because I know him. But you have a gift. Have you thought about teaching this? Because you light up. You've been sitting here with me for 3 hours and I've never gotten tired of listening to you. I should have been home at 6 o'clock. We started laughing. She slapped across my arm. She slapped, my arm across, and she said, are you kidding me? Every time I would tell her a manifestation story. I said, no, this is the way it is. This is just the way it is. It was in that interview, and I told her, and I said, you know what? I think I'm going to teach this. She shook my hand. I shook her hand. I made a friend, and I walked out, and I never looked back. I never applied for another job. Why? Because I knew since I was a child, I would teach. I just didn't know who and what and when and where and what. But I felt as if in that moment was that turning point in my life. So I am who I am today. I'm a business consultant because I worked in the business industry, in the financial industry, and I have worked with multimillionaires and CEOs. And I'm also a high performance mentor because I've been coached and mentored by Bob Proctor. I've made the decision and I said, I am going for my calling. So today, I want to say that what I'm teaching you doesn't come because I have fallen into this. It comes because of years of experience. Since I was a little girl, I remember manifesting things and I was aware of them, but I couldn't communicate them to anyone. Nobody was there to ask me what was happening. But I would manifest things, and I would even turn around and I would tell my parents, Mom, look, this is happening for me. Why is all this good stuff happening for me? And she didn't know why. She just didn't know. And I did not know. But what I'm saying is, click with someone, find someone. Because if you are in a victim mentality or in a hole right now, you need to be lifted up. You may not have the power and the strength to lift yourself up. And I've been there. So look for help, but believe it, trust it, apply it. Because if you don't apply it, it's going to get worse. I'm not going to try to shake you up, but it could get worse. So what I would suggest is that you start applying, start affirming, start visualizing, start thinking the right thoughts. Use the 6 gifts of mind or heart or the 4th dimension. you have 6 gifts. You have will, perception, intuition, reason, imagination, and memory. Use them. Don't just use your will alone. Don't just say, I'm going to do, I'm going to do. It's not about doing, it's about being. To be is to use the tools of mind, and you do the doing in there. You're the head. You're not the body. Let other people be the body. In the church, they used to say, God is the head and the people are the body. You're the body of Christ. Yeah, you're not supposed to do the hard work. You lift yourself up into that place, into that new state of being. Stay there, live there, and you will draw everything that's necessary unto you. But there will be some things that you have to do. It's impossible for you to just sit on the couch and things just come to the door. However, those things happen too. But know this, you have a better chance when you expose yourself to teaching, and also when you apply it. Okay, so this video again is very long, and I make long videos. As you can see, I love to talk. I need to make them shorter, and I've always said I was going to make them shorter, but I cannot do another 20 minutes. It's already 30 minutes in, so I'm going to have to post this. Okay, remember, every worker is worthy of his reward. And if you see me talk more spiritual, I come from, most of my life is a religious background, but I have turned a spiritual scientist, which means I have studied science, metaphysics, and I usually ask question, how did that happen? Don't tell me that Jesus multiplied the fish and the bread. No, no, no. I need to know what that means. I need to know where that was done, what that means. So that is called a scientist. A scientist wants to know facts. Like, I don't just go by what I hear. I have to understand. And so when you ask questions, now wait a second, wait, how did you bend the spoon? Wait, what happened? Wait, what did you say? Why? Because you are looking for understanding. So look for understanding, and all you do, look for understanding, okay? Because that becomes the foundation for life. That means you don't have to keep scouring and searching for YouTube after YouTube after YouTube. You apply what you hear and you build your own foundation. So you don't waste your time learning from someone like me or other people. You've got to become your own individuality, your own powerhouse, okay? Because you are. What's standing in the way, ooh, I bent the spoon back. What's standing in the way between you and your manifestation, it's your belief. And we talk about those in the program. But anyway, long video, I'm going to cut it short. Thank you so much for watching. I would encourage you to do the spoon, bend the spoon. Go ahead and bend the spoon, and leave me a comment below and tell me if you've done it. And yeah, that would be awesome to see how many people can do it, because not a lot of people can do it. My daughter does it in less than a minute, just like me, and she is a manifester. She could manifest things in her life or out of her life, depending on whatever she wants. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Bye now.